everyone. We have Aimee here from the Pan Atlantic Foundation. Aimee, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us just a little bit about what you do?
So, my name is Aimee. I am in Michigan and I am the regional director of Pan Atlantic Foundation. There are 8 regional directors that cover all of the US. So, I have 7 states in the US, and then my counterparts have the other states. And we work with exchange students from all over the country, finding host families in local areas and having them come do an exchange year for 5 to 10 months at the schools with families.
That sounds exciting. Sounds like a fun job. How did you get started in that?
So I got started probably about 11 years ago. I had a friend that had posted on Facebook that he was going to be hosting a boy from Germany, and I thought that that was just really awesome. I have a son of my own, and I wanted more kids, but I unfortunately couldn't have any. And so I thought hosting would be a great way to still be able to have more kids in my home. So I reached out to him. I hosted for a year, and after a year, my area representative said, "Hey, what do you think about being an area representative? I think you would really love it, and it's a great way to make some extra income." And so I said, why not? And 10, 11 years later, I was able to move up and be a regional director and be more involved in the company.
That's fantastic. Sounds like you've had a good run there. Have they given you a lot of flexibility? I know that's a top question we have when we're looking for remote jobs is people really want something flexible. It sounds like this is a pretty flexible job for people to get into.
Yes, that was kind of my main thing. I was a stay-at-home mom. My son was in first grade when I started doing this, and my big thing is I wanted to still be able to go to his Christmas parties and his Halloween parties and any field trips. I wanted to come in and read with the kids. I just really wanted to be as involved as possible in raising him. And I knew that having a normal 9 to 5 job, it just wasn't possible to really be integrated in, his life in the school and everything. He was doing sports, all of it. Having that job that really just held you to a certain time frame. Being able to be an area rep, it really is on your own time, at your own pace, your freedom. There's no requirements. There's no, you must place this amount of kids or anything like that. You see your students in person once a month. That's really the commitment that is there to physically get out of the house and see them. Of course, we love when our ARs do extra things with them, do bowling events. We really try to bond with these kids as well as the families that they go to. But the freedom that you have to be home if you have a sick kid, to not have to worry about calling in is what really drew me to being a part of the program.
Absolutely. That sounds fantastic for a lot of moms who have younger kids at home, especially. So, looking back to when you were an area rep, what would the average day look like for you while you were working from home?
I am a social media person, so that's kind of my way to connect with people. So I would get up, I'd hang out with a kid, get him ready for school, get some coffee. Again, I was lucky enough to be a stay-at-home mom and didn't necessarily have to work, but I wanted that extra income to go to Disney or for something special in the summer to do, Christmas, whatever. So, being able to bring in this extra income was just amazing, and I didn't have to give up all of my time. I probably posted on Facebook, I don't know, 10 hours out of the week, and I would just find graphics that we have in our system or post on community sites, or some schools have school pages that they'll let you post on about the opportunity to host and what it requires and what we're looking for and the kind of kids that we have that are coming in. So, really the flexibility of the time, it was just whatever I decided to do. So I could go get lunch with friends, and I could still be making money, and I could go get my nails done if I wanted. So it was just really nice to be able to set my own schedule and not have to be gone when my family was home, or not have to be finding someone else to watch my child when he was homesick.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You probably have some great stories from students you've placed, I'm guessing, after doing this for 11 years. Do you have any that stand out? I'm guessing this is life-changing for some of these students.
It really is. I personally have hosted 13 students in my house. As an AR, you don't ever have to host, but you are allowed to if you want to. So I have lots of experience as far as teenagers in my home, and then teenagers that I've placed. And we have some amazing, amazing kids. I just had a student that graduated from Chicago. He is from Vietnam and he's now working on his master's degree, and he is just an outstanding kid. I have a student that was personally in my home who is working on a project where he will be sending something up into space with NASA. I mean, these kids are really, really awesome kids. And to know that I got to be a part of putting into them and then growing into something more is just super rewarding. Super rewarding.
I love that. That sounds like a great program. It's so fun to see them kind of improve and progress too. Is there an average age for these students?
They're all high school students, so typically they're 14 to 18 years old. We don't have a ton of 14-year-olds, but we do get a few. I mean, that's pretty young to come here, but they actually do really well. I have hosted mostly the young kids. I like the young kids. They were close to my son's age, and so that's kind of why I picked those students. But yep, they're all high school age. They all come with their own insurance. They come with their own spending money. So that's not something that the family has to worry about when you're placing with them. And, the families that we look for, you get a lot of no's. It's what it is. It's not the right fit for everybody. And we understand that the right family is going to say yes. And really, it's just opening your home, providing a loving home, wanting to share your culture, your traditions, and experience traditions and cultures from other countries, 3 meals a day, and a bed for them to sleep in.
I'm really curious what your son's experience has been like this. I'm guessing it's been exciting for him probably to meet people from different cultures as well.
Yeah, he has actually loved it. He was very not sure if he wanted a sibling for a long time. So the host sibling avenue was much better for him. He loved having big brothers and big sisters all over the world, and some of this is him. He's now 18, but he's got to go to Portugal, he's got to go to Spain, he's got to go to Denmark and Germany and go visit his host brothers and sisters, and he still talks to all of them all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's so fun to keep in touch with. So what advice would you have for somebody that was interested in becoming an area representative?
You have to be outgoing. You have to be able to talk to whoever. It is absolutely a word of mouth. I talk to everyone. Every person I ever meet, I talk to them about exchange students because it is my life. So you have to be very open about that. And I would say you have to be pretty well organized. There's not a ton of work, but being organized, knowing what schools your kids are in, whose family they're with. You have to meet with them every other month in person, the opposite months. You can call or FaceTime them. You do a little supervision report every month. If there is any issues, you may have to look for a new host family. Life happens. Sometimes families change jobs. There's a death in the family. People don't always mesh together. They are teenagers. They like to push buttons sometimes. They're learning and growing as well. So you have to have the ability to really be able to talk to people. Conflict resolution is very, very important. Being able to mediate, sit down, hear both sides, and try to come to some kind of understanding is really important in this field. And again, just the organization is really important. But we have an amazing system that's super easy to use. I'm not a technology person at all, but thankfully our system is pretty user-friendly. So being able to at least use a computer is kind of important.
I'm guessing they offer some training, right, for new area representatives when you.
Yep, absolutely. Whoever your RD is, your regional director, whatever area you're in, they will do training with you. I always do a Zoom meeting with all my people. I walk through the system, kind of show them some tips and tricks of how to find different kids or how to do different things in our system. And then I always tell my people, I'm your new best friend. If I'm your RD, we are BFFs now because we're going to talk all the time. You're going to call me. You're going to text me. You're going to ask me questions. And that's my job. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you and make sure that you can do your job as needed, that you have the support that you need. If there's any situations going on with students, if you're missing information, if there's a problem at the school, I'm here to help with everything. That's what all of our RDs do, because without our ARs, we couldn't do our job.
You mentioned some traveling that your son's been able to do, but do you want to go into a little bit of detail about that?
Yeah, so we offer this really cool thing with Pan Atlantic. A lot of agencies do it, I believe. But with Pan Atlantic, if you place 4 students, you qualify to go on a training training trip that we have every year. So every year we vote and we go somewhere different. We just recently went to Greece in October. This October we will go to Scotland, and that is why my son got to go so many places, because I earned 4 points for me to be able to go, and then any additional 5 points you can take a guest with you. Everything's paid for: hotel, airfare, food, excursions. It's all included. So very, very blessed to be able to take him and travel the world. I could have never done that without this program. But we really feel like not only is it a great way to say thank you to our ARs for all the work that they do for, protecting and looking out for our kids and really investing in them, it also really gives them that firsthand experience of what it's like to go to another country where nobody speaks your language. You don't know how to order food. You don't know what's coming in the food that you're ordering. You can't use the plug that you charge your phone with at home. It just really gives you that understanding and the empathy that you need for these students when they come here and they're just so lost and they're dealing with culture shock and homesickness and not understanding the language barrier, maybe because of our slang terms. So it really puts you guys in that spot of, oh, wow, this is what these teens are going through, and I'm doing this as an adult. So it's not only a great experience for us and a neat way for us to see the country and travel, but it really does give you that inside look of, gosh, this is what these little kids are going through.
Oh, I'm sure that's so helpful for them to be able to relate on that level too, because a lot of people don't have that experience, and definitely a nice perk for the area representatives as well.
Right, right. And again, like I said, it's training in the lightest form. We are typically there for about 5 days, and 3 of the 5 days we typically do a training for about 2 hours each day. And then the rest of the time is us getting to experience the culture of where we are, bonding with other team members, meeting people in the office. The CEO comes, and then we have a lot of agents from the other countries that come. So we get to talk one on one with these agents and learn more about their kids and their expectations and why they may behave the way they do. Or Germany is a amazing place, and those kids are very, I mean, they're just on it. They're set. They're very, I don't want to say rigid because my German boy was the sweetest boy ever, but it's just different. And they, sometimes have challenges with, okay, well, why do I need to check in? Why do I need to tell you if I'm going here instead of going there? Because it's not like that in other countries, and they're just super independent, and we're not like that here. And so getting to talk to those agents and understanding some of the cultural differences really also helps head off any problems that may arise with host families.
I love that. It's such a great way to broaden your perspective too. Well, thank you so much for sharing about this opportunity with us. For anyone who's interested in becoming an area representative, can you just let them know what the first steps they should take to be?
Yeah, and so if you're interested in being an area rep, the webpage that you would go to is www.panatlanticfoundation.org. And then there will be a career button that you can go in and you can read a little bit about us, about the career some more, and then you can apply there. It'll go right to our system, and then whoever the regional director is over that area will reach out to you and talk to you, and we'll go over some more things about job title and what we do responsibility wise and things that are expected from an AR. But that's how you go in and apply and get started.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us, Amy. I always love hearing about different ways people are working from home, especially when this was so outside the box. A lot of people may not be aware it's an option, and with the flexibility, that's a great fit for so many people.
Yes, yes. It really has been a super blessing. And so I'm just excited to be able to share it with everybody and let other people know, that this opportunity is out here. And there are so many work from home jobs that aren't real, or you don't know how to wade through what's right and what's not, and if you really have to pay in and why you have to pay in. And so, I'm just so grateful to be able to have a platform through you to be able to reach out to all these people and let them know about the opportunity to work as an AR, and that, you don't ever have to pay into us. We're not an MLM, we're a nonprofit organization, and that it is a real job. And even though there are amazing perks, that it's really real.
Well, we appreciate you sharing with us. We're going to feature your information in the comments of this video, and you can also go to the workathomefamily.com for some details about the area representative shops that are available.